This is the iPhone Air, Apple's thinnest and most lightweight iPhone that they've ever made. Coming in at 5.6 millimeters thin with a 6.5 inch OLED 120Hz variable refresh rate display. It is a peak brightness of 3000 nits. Outdoors, you're going to have zero problems viewing it from any angle. It also has a anti-reflective display, not quite to the level of the Galaxy. I'll go ahead and show you guys. Here's the S25 Ultra with the iPhone Air. It is nowhere near the anti-reflective coating of the Galaxy, but it's not bad. It's a step in the right direction, and I hope more companies do it. Apple basically put all the brains and everything that is essential to hardware under the plateau. That means the A19 Pro chipset, that means the camera housing, and the main logic board. All of it is under here. Because it is so thin, there is no thermal cooling like its bigger brother, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. What that really means is a long-term performance for the Pro Max is a sustained performance, meaning it can keep at the same pace for a longer period of time. You will notice that this phone will throttle a lot more frequently. You will notice under here, right underneath the plateau, it will get hot to the touch. On the flip side, heat doesn't last for a long time. It does go away fairly quickly, but it is something to note. And because of all of this, the battery takes a hit on heavy usage. I'm not talking about minutes, I'm talking about hours just being shedded away. And you can visually see the battery percentage just going down in real time. This phone has the perfect chipset for it. The A19 performance is excellent by far. You will have no issues with viewing experiences because of that 3000 nit brightness. Everything just works really well. So everything is buttery smooth. Performance wise, it is awesome. Now the phone is so thin, I compared it against the iPhone 17 Pro Max, the Galaxy, I even compared it to an AirPod and a pen. It is thinner than all of them. It is quite surreal. I highly suggest you guys go into an Apple store and picking it up for yourself. It is lightweight. It doesn't have any wrist fatigue factor. It is very easy and comfortable to use for late night scrolls, Instagram. It is really good at that. Even though it is a single firing speaker, it is good for social media, which we're going to get to the next thing. The cameras. It is a single firing camera, which is a 48 megapixel fusion camera. There is no telephoto, there is no ultra wide. So if cameras is a deal breaker, this is not the phone to get. Now the iPhone Air takes some pretty good camera shots. With the one camera that it is still a decent camera to shoot with. It is very good at point and shoot status, and it is very good when you give it some good lighting. Alright, this is the iPhone Air video quality test. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna start walking this way. Let's see how the stabilization is. This is recording at 4K, 30 frames a second. Move to the right, move to the left. So far it seems kind of stable. Not too bad. Alright y'all, I'm recording with the dual capture feature on the new iPhone 17 series. They just introduced this with the all brand new models. I noticed that it is only 1080p 30 frames a second. And it also all saves into one file. Also, you can't resize the window, and you can only move the window accordingly to whatever position you want, but that's just about it. I don't know who this is actually for. Maybe vloggers. I can see this being useful for vloggers. Like I said, it's limited to 30 frames a second. Now the phone is only a USB-C 2.0, which means data transfer speeds kind of suck. It's not the greatest in the world because there are better things, especially in the competition. On day one, you're not going to notice this. After about a week of using this alongside the iPhone 17 Pro Max, the thinness and the lightness, and it sounds like it's not a big deal, but trust me, after the first week, you're going to really appreciate the size and the weight. It fits so well in the hands, and it is just a perfect thinness where it doesn't feel like it's hard to reach alongside the keyboard. You can easily one-hand this device, and it flows so well with iOS 26. Everything just flows perfectly with this phone. Now, this being a first generation product, It makes me wonder what the second generation will be like. A precursor to the iPhone foldable? We don't know. If there will be a second generation iPhone Air, there are some things that I would love for Apple to do. The first thing, stereo speakers. The mono speaker on this phone just is not good enough. I just think it sucks, and it just is very tin-like, and it's super flat. It's good for social media, and that's just about it. Once you start playing music, movies, and some games, the sound just does not compare to its other brothers. The next thing, I really hope they improve the charging speeds. Quite possibly my most frustrating thing about this phone, it just charges way too slow because it only supports 25-watt wired charging. Yes, it's a small battery, but it just takes forever for it to get to even 80%, let alone 100%. I don't mind this single camera, but I would like to see an ultra wide or maybe a telephoto or a fusion between the two, but I would definitely like to see an ultra wide on this phone. And lastly, just more color options. Honestly, I don't mind any of the colors this year, but the 3 colors that are all essentially a different shade of white, I just wish there was a little bit more saturation to it. Certain lights, if you have all 3 colors together, they all look the same. Now, the iPhone Air is a solid buy for those individuals that just want a clean, minimalist design. Nothing crazy, nothing shouty. It is a super clean phone. From every single angle, this thing looks absolutely gorgeous. And by the way, this whole video was shot on the 17 Pro Max. Point and shoot status, here you guys go. This is the iPhone 17 Pro Max recording the whole video. Yeah. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later in the next one. Peace.